Okay, we're going to look at problem 10 on section 2.2 because several students have had trouble with this problem and I don't believe I have a video on this. So let's start by looking at the information. The accompanying table contains ocean temperature data in a tourist region for the past 125 days. So our sample size is of 125. And we want to use technology because this is too many numbers to count. We want to use the 2K rule to determine the number of classes and then construct a frequency distribution for this data. So first, let's get it open. I'm actually going to do this in Excel, but you can do this in StatCrunch as well. Okay, so here is my data. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here and I'm going to sort from smallest to largest. Now, the 2K rule, if I do it, I believe 2 to the 6 is 64, and then 2 to the 7th, let me put my equal sign, is 128. So I will need 7 classes. So I'm going to write that down, 7 classes. And then after I determine how many classes I need to determine the class width. So use the 2K rule to find the number of classes, and then after you find the number of classes, you can find the width of those classes. So to do that, we're going to do our largest which is 82.7 minus the smallest, and we're going to put parentheses around that, and then we are going to divide by 7. So our class width, we always round up to an easy number, so 2 would be our class width. Now this is continuous data because they're not whole numbers, they're decimal. So we want to start with 70, because if we go from 70 to 72 to less than 72, because when it's continuous, we're going to do less than 72. So we're going to put in 71.99 and then go up to 73.99, 75.99, and 77.99. 1, 2, 3, 4, 79.99, and 81.99. Let's see how many we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So one more, because we need 7 classes. Okay, so now we have our bins, and now we need to get our frequency. So we do equal frequency, and it tells you your data array, which is all your data. So highlight all of that, and then do comma, and then highlight, it says bins. So we're going to do our bins, and here is our count. So 121, 45, 40, 13, 4, and 1. So all you're going to do, I've already worked this, so I would enter my frequencies in here. Now look at your answer choices. If you started at 71, 71 to 72.5 is really not, we want to go up to 70, to less than 72. Here we're only going up from, when you do 71 to 72.5, that's only going up by 1.5. here we're going up by 2, and we want to go up by 2 because our width is 2. That's why we chose this one. Alright, so after you do your frequencies, you want to do your relative frequencies, and you can do this on paper or you can do this in here, but basically you take the frequency and you divide it by the total number of data points you have, so 125. So what this means is 0.8% of our data is in the first class. Do the same thing for the next one and divide that by 125. So just take every number and divide it by the total. Now what you can do is copy the formula down, and it will do this for you. So here's our relative frequency. Now for cumulative, it accumulates. So to get your cumulative frequency, the second class, you add the class before it, and then keep adding until the bottom number is going to be 1. Let me show you how to do this. So for the first class, it's just going to be the same. But for the second class, you're going to add your total before plus the new class. So class 1 frequency plus class 2 relative frequency. Okay, and then you're just going to keep doing that. So you would do what you've accumulated so far plus the third class. And I could just drag this down and it would fill in all my numbers. Let me just show you. And it would get to 1. But all I'm doing is I'm taking, for this relative frequency, I'm taking what I've accumulated so far plus the new class, and that's how I get that number. And then for the next one, I'm going to take what I've accumulated so far and add the new class and get that number. And this should always be 1 or very, very close to 1. It may be off a little for rounding, but in our situation here, we did get that. So you will put that in. And then it wants you to construct a histogram. So what you do in Excel is you go to Data and Data Analysis and Histogram. And then for your input range, this is all your data. All you're putting in. Okay? And then for your bin range, it's just your bins. So you click on the button, and let me scroll up, and you highlight your bins. And then we're going to put this on a new worksheet, and make sure you select Chart Output and hit OK. So as you can see here, this is barely there. So it's going up, up, down, 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 down. So up, up, this doesn't go down. Up, up. Let me look at it again. Up, up, up. So 3 ups. Up, up, up. And then this should be down. So that one's eliminated. Up, 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 down. Up, up, up. This one doesn't go down. So it's this one. And you could zoom in and see and compare it. And you will see that that is the correct histogram. And then the last question asks, what percentage of days was the ocean temperature less than 74 degrees? So if you go up to less than 74, 17.6%. It's just your cumulative relative frequency. So that is how you work this problem. This is one that you definitely need to use StatCrunch or Excel, because it does have a lot of data points and a lot of calculations. I like Excel because students tend to use this more, and now the textbook is starting to use this more. So I highly recommend you to try to get familiar with Excel. And let me know if you have any questions about this video.